Okay, in this video today from the Bad Beck Gardener, we are going to be showing you how I've managed to keep my early planted vegetables that are sensitive to cold safe during this spring here, where we've had some very cold temperatures the last week or so. We've had temperatures in the mid to lower 20s, so I've had to do some extra protecting of my plants besides just some normal row cover. So I'm going to show you how I've done that and how I've managed to get them to survive through all of that and keep on growing real quick here in this video. So normally I just have row cover on over my plants when I feel it's safe, and then if I get a cold spell like I've had last year, I didn't even have to do this because I never got that cold of a spell after I had my plants planted. But I've had a lot of my plants in for a while now, a little bit earlier this year because we had a warmer early spring and we've had a cold late spring. So, but as you can see, what I've ended up doing is covering the tomatoes. I got 3 beds of tomatoes here. I got this one here, this bed here. This bed has been planted for a while now here, and so it's got half of it is tomatoes. It's been in there for a while. The other half I just planted not too long ago. And then down on this bed I got one more bed of tomatoes there. But they're all basically the same. So what I've done is they have row cover underneath them. Let me take off my clips here. And to hold everything on, which I've said before in my other videos here, hold everything on, I use binder clips, jumbo binder clips. They work great. They hold great in high winds. We've had some high winds this week, and they hold, and it holds the plastic on, it holds the row cover on, and it works great, especially with a 1/2 inch CPVC that I use for my hoops. But as you can see, here's what I do is I covered my row cover with plastic, and actually this may be getting, because it was so sunny today, this is probably getting actually too warm in here. Hopefully nothing got burnt, but I cover everything with row cover normally when I plant it. And in here actually I have some water tubes, water teepees that I use. Those and row cover combined for my very early tomatoes, and then for my little bit later tomatoes I just use the row cover. So I do have that. I have the row cover underneath, some water teepees in some of them, and then I covered them with plastic. And then what I did is during the cold nights and stuff, I took and put in a small heater, and I'll show you that here as I get this uncovered. I'll show you what that looks like here. So in here, and amongst my plants, I use these heaters here. I'll pull one out here, show you. It's just this little brand called Comfort brand, and they're not very expensive, and they're good little things. So what I do is I keep them underneath the plastic. Now that's what mainly the plastic is for, is one to hold in heat, but the other to keep the rain out, rain or snow. We actually had snow, to keep the wet weather out from these, because these are not outdoor rated unless you got them covered. So then I run extension cords up to the house to 3 different circuits, because these are 12.5 watts or amps. I'm sorry, 12.5 amps. And you need to have that on different circuits. So I have to run it to 3 different circuits with a heavy enough extension cord that is rated. I got 100-foot extension cords that are rated for over that 12.5 amps that these require. So each one of these beds has one of these little heaters in, and that's how I kept my tomatoes growing, not just surviving, growing, because I could turn them on for a couple hours and I could have the temperature in there in the 60s and 70 degrees, or warmer if I wanted to. So that's kind of how I kept it going here, and right now we're expecting some warm weather from here on out. So I'm actually going to be uncovering everything except for the row cover. Take the plastic, take the heaters out, put the extension cords away, and be done with it. Tonight we're supposed to get down around 39 and 40 degrees, which the row cover is plenty enough to protect from that. And then for the next week or so in the forecast, we're going to be warm. So hopefully it'll get us into summertime. So that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Catch up with me on Facebook. You can also email me at bbgardner@zoominternet.net. And as always, if your back ain't hurting, you ain't working.